Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas. The spectators get themselves ready as the action in Race 2 of the Marlboro Crane Hire Historic Saloons Classes A to H is about to get underway. Accelerator pedals floored and the racing begins! The black BMW of Ulisana and the red Alfa of Pierre de Val run side by side through the first turn. Behind them, Martin Buerta and Werner Fonck run side by side. The battles from Race 1 are resuming. Daniel Lotter in hot pursuit of Gerd Buertas and Meredith Willis as they head towards turn 2. Ulisana has managed to get ahead of Pierre de Val. Behind them, Werner Fonck and Martin Buerta are still running wheel to wheel. They're followed by Dion van Vuren and Gerd Buertas. Behind them are Meredith Willis and Daniel Lotter. Colin Keane and Willem Forster run wheel to wheel through turn 3 and on towards the boot. Forster edging ahead slightly. Nose to tail, the field stream into the boot. Willis, Lotter, Willis and Maurice are bunched together really tightly. Forster still ahead of Keane as they head towards Castle Corner. Down the back straight, and Werner Fonck has managed to edge ahead of Martin Buerta, who is now coming under pressure from Dion van Vuren. Behind them, Gerd Buertas has Meredith Willis breathing down his neck. Heading towards Geelskop, and Buertas is doing his best to keep Willis behind him. Dion van Vuren is pushing hard and he goes slightly wide in his efforts. A train of historic saloons steam their way through the final corner and onto the main straight. Werner Fonck still out ahead of the pack. Martin Buerta now feeling the pressure from Dion van Vuren, who is right back in his bumper after his slight indiscretion. Brett Maurice has a look down the inside of Quentin Willis as they go through turn 1. The battle resumes. Fonck, Buerta, van Vuren, the three-way battle shows no signs of easing up. Gerd Buertas leads the next gaggle of cars. Brett Maurice is really applying the pressure on Quentin Willis. Willis, feeling the pressure, runs slightly wide, and this might give Maurice the chance he's been waiting for. Through the boot, and Brett Maurice makes his move. He moves ahead, and it will now be his turn to be chased. Side by side, they race into Castle Corner. Maurice manages to keep his position ahead of Willis and edges slightly ahead as they head into turn 6. Meredith Willis is managing to keep ahead of Daniel Lotter for now. Heading into the Anginis, and Lotter closes in on Willis, and they both chase after Gerd Buertas. Nose to tail, the trio stream onto the 412-meter back straight. This really gives the drivers a chance to put the power down. Daniel Lotter has a great seat as Meredith Willis challenges Gerd Buertas heading into turn 9. Brett Maurice has closed in on Daniel Lotter and looks set to challenge. Side by side, the two pairs head into Geelskop. This really is anyone's race. Brett Maurice has found his way past Daniel Lotter and sets off for Meredith Willis, who runs slightly wide on the run down to the final bend. Daniel Lotter, meanwhile, has to begin his chase as Brett Maurice is beginning to edge a slight gap. Dion van Vuren is challenging Werner Fonck as the pair head into turn 1. The frog security machine of Fonck manages to stay ahead of the Focus Freight Escort of van Vuren for now. While they've been preoccupied with each other, Martin Buerta has snuck up on them and he challenges the pair, not successfully this time. Quentin Willis has had a great seat as he watches Daniel Lotter make a move down the inside of Brett Maurice through the boot. Great pass for Lotter, and Maurice will now have to chase again. Fantastic dices with positions changing all the time. Willis sees his chance and moves alongside Maurice through turn 6. Gerd Buertas and Meredith Willis, Daniel Lotter and Quentin Willis, with Brett Maurice sitting at the back of the quartet. Through Geelskop they go, and it looks like Maurice might challenge for his position again. Willis challenges Lotter through the final corner and makes it stick. Lotter watches as Willis pulls away from him down the main straight. Powering into turn 1, Quentin Willis leads Daniel Lotter, and Brett Maurice is in hot pursuit. Into turn 2, and Lotte is pushing hard. He'll be eager to get his position back. It's hard work, and he's able to make the pass. Peter Ross watches Willem Fonk retire his escort into the pits, suffering from a loss of power. The train makes its way through turn 9. The driver's still looking for any chance to pass. Daniel Lotte chases after Meredith Willis, but he's also coming under pressure from Quentin Willis, who will not be giving him much breathing room. Through the final turn onto the main straight, the Ford Escort train continues. Quentin Willis having a look down the inside of Daniel Lotte, but he isn't quite close enough. Lotte in turn having a look down the inside of Meredith Willis. Into turn 1, and Lotte makes his move, and he gains the position. His patience has been rewarded. Peter Ross in his Alfa Romeo GTV is chasing down the blue Mercedes of Fani Kloppers. Through turn 1, the Mercedes leads the Alfa. Kloppers pushing hard, runs wide in his heavy Mercedes-Benz, and this gives Ross the chance to move ahead. Kloppers does manage to get himself back on the track, and he will be eager to get his position back. The Bottas-led battle has not calmed down, and the racing is still tight. Willis and Maurice both driving on the limit. A little twitch and contact is made. Luckily, it doesn't look like there's any significant damage to either car as they both continue with the race. Onto the main straight, and Quentin Willis takes advantage of his brother's incident and gains the position heading into turn 1. The battle is still very much alive, with Willis heading after Maurice. Gert Bottas is marginally ahead of Daniel Lotte, with Brett Maurice right behind him. Quentin Willis passes Brett Maurice, who's losing a lot of ground. On the outside of Castle Corner, Brett Maurice retires his escort. It turns out that of all things, he has run out of fuel. Through Gielskorp, it's Willem Forster who leads Colin Keane. Keane is pushing hard, and his Mercedes leans around the corner. Uli Sana's had a rather lonely race at the front as he makes his way round the final bend to find the checkered flag waiting for him. Not a bad day's racing for him, from the back to second in race 1 and victory in race 2. The battle for third is very close. It's Werner Fonk ahead of Martin Botha as the pair race through Gielskorp. Botha has a look down the inside of Fonk, but he isn't close enough. Nose to tail, they race through the final turn. It's Fonk who stays ahead, and he will take third behind Pierre de Waal. Coming around the final bend, and Gert Bottas has managed to hold Daniel Lotte at bay. Despite his best efforts, Lotte has not been able to find a way past. Side by side, Colin Keane and Willem Forster run into the final bend. This is going to be a drag to the line. It looks like Willem Forster has got it by the smallest of margins, 5/100ths of a second. Uli Sana took victory by 36 seconds ahead of Pierre de Waal. De Waal comfortably leads the overall championship, with the Willis brothers tied in second place, with Gert Bottas just 1 point behind them and Dion van Vuuren a further 7 points adrift. So it's really all to play for heading into the final round.
It was a repeat of race 1, wasn't it? I just cannot catch these guys. It's just amazing. It was a brilliant, brilliant race. I had so much fun. Fantastic weekend.
Yeah, it was very good. I must say, the battle I was having with Daniel and Meredith and Gert, well, Gert was in the front, so he was a long way in front of me. But to have the guys swapping positions, keeping it tidy, and racing hard, that was brilliant for me. That really was, that was great.
Man, this was hard work, and I loved every moment. It was so, Quentin was on my backside the whole race, basically. You know, it was a swap between him and Maurice. Brett Maurice, they were, in and out the whole time, so I had to really cover myself, and then Gert blocked me a little bit, but that I'll have a beer with him later to sort that out. On that, I just want to thank my family, my supporters. Wayne, thanks for that radiator of your car. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks, guys, for the good spirit. It's nice dicing with you. Daniel gave me a good go for my money. He was behind me the whole time. So, yes, I took the inside and the curve, and he was the push nose. And then thanks for the good spirit and keeping it there. Thanks a lot, guys.
Very good. We had a desperate race, the first race. Second race, much better. We had a handling problem. The guys just were all over me the first race. Second race, we got back into it, and then we started getting overheating problems after the train. I had to fall back, but very good race. Good competition, unbelievably tight initially. But I'm happy with the result overall. Thank you.
Oh, it was dreadful. I was piggy in the middle, you know, and he was pushing like crazy to get past me. His car's very quick, it's scary. And this man drives like a very clever person, you know, a bit like I had to drive at Swartkops last time. So he closed the holes all the time, just didn't let us go by, which was fantastic.
So we had a good start. I've got a little bit of more power over Martin. So I knew on the starts I can get him. His car's quicker through the corners than mine, so I had to adjust my lines a little bit to keep him behind me. And I know the guys were battling at the back, so it gave me a little bit of a room to adjust and see what the guys are doing. So spectating through the mirror most of the times. But yes, obviously awesome track, good day, no rain, a little bit windy, but I enjoyed it.
Quick question. How many parts does the average car have? Find out after the break.
Join us after the break for some exciting action from the InvestChem Formula Fords.